I don't, he went to,
That's all I'm going to talk about. Sir? Yeah, I'm doing good.
Okay. Oh, Lordy.
tape recorder running to kill him there.
You guys all ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. Today is November 20th, 2015. It's 8 in the morning. And we're here in reference to case number 15726-580. Which is a deputy involved shooting that took place on November 11th of 2015 at 11:37 Tapia. With me in the room is
Detective David Gonzalez, Albuquerque Police Department.
Fred Maurer here on behalf of Deputy Schlottman.
and
Deputy Schlotman.
what's your first name?
Michael.
Michael. And how do you spell your last name?
SCHLATTMAN.
Okay. And what's your man number
239
and PD ID?
4735.
Okay, Michael. If anytime you need a break, we just stop the tape. You can go outside and get some water, bathroom, whatever you need. Okay.
Okay.
What's your current shift?
South Grave.
So that's South Watch 3?
One.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Watch 1. And how long have you been with BCSA?
Approximately 3.5 years.
And were you always patrol, or did you ever work any other positions inside? Or
For the Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, for the Sheriff's
No,
Department.
always patrol.
Okay. All right. Were you involved in the incident that took place on November 11th at 11:37 Tapia?
I was.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's start from the previous call, whatever you cleared from, if you can remember that, or whatever you were doing prior to your involvement with this.
Okay.
Start there and just kind of run all the way through things. We're going to just let you talk, and we'll ask our questions after.
Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't on the call.
I'm sorry. I forgot this last time too. I have to read your rights, unfortunately. Okay. Right now, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney and have him present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any question begins if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions, and make any statements. Do you understand the rights?
I do.
Okay, and I know you have your representation here.
I do.
Okay, so if you're comfortable with that, go ahead and start.
Okay.
Sorry about
I was not on the call. I was patrolling, coming off of Old Coors on the bridge, and I observed a white pickup truck driving eastbound on the bridge from Old Coors, and it did not have a license plate that I could see. At that time, I tried to initiate a traffic stop, called it out, and the vehicle turned left from Old Coors, left from Bridge onto, I can't remember the road right now. I'll remember here in a minute.
So it went north?
No, yeah, it went north.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I initiated my emergency equipment. The vehicle did not stop and started taking off. I immediately cut code and canceled and cut all my emergency equipment and radio dispatch that the vehicle had fled and I was not engaged and I was following from a distance. The vehicle, I wouldn't say it was speeding at a high rate of speed because we were on neighborhood streets, but it wasn't stopping. So from a distance, I followed it and kept giving out locations on where it was heading, where it was going, and if it ran stoplights or stop signs. Foothill is the street.
Okay.
Yeah, Foothill. Yeah, I'll remember it.
Don't worry about
So we went up Foothill. It went towards Atrisco, ran the stop sign at Atrisco and Foothill. Continued, I guess we'd be going east by that time.
So did it turn on Atrisco? Or-
No, it did not turn on Atrisco,
Okay.
from what I remember. It went straight down onto Sunset,
Okay.
or Sunset Gardens. It's one of those streets right there, and kept going. It stayed on that street until it hit a bridge. At that time, it ran the light at the red light at Bridge and Sunset, and I'm still calling everything out. Still following from a distance, and so it went up Sunset. Sunset curves around, came out on Goff, and took a left, which means it was heading southbound on Goff. And then at Goff and Arenal, it took a right and started heading westbound, and it ran that light too. At that time, the light was still red for me when I got to the intersection, so I initiated my emergency equipment to get through the red light and intersection. And then once I got through the intersection, I immediately turned it all back off. From Arenal, they continued westbound down Arenal to Tapia, took a right on Tapia and headed northbound on Tapia. Went down Tapia, and then Tapia tees at San Ignacio. Took a right on San Ignacio, so headed eastbound on San Ignacio, and then immediately took another left and started going northbound on Tapia again. That's where I kind of lost sight of him, because like I said, I was not in pursuit. So when he did the quick turn, by the time I turned onto Tapia to keep calling it out, I just saw his taillights turning down. I can't remember the street we were on, but that's the street he turned on. Then by the time I got to that street and started turning down it, he had turned around and was coming back towards Tapia. At that time, since I was not in a pursuit or anything like that, I immediately pulled my vehicle all the way off the roadway to give him an avenue of escape. And at that time, I could see his lights switch and was coming right at my driver's side door. And so
It's gonna take a turn.
yeah.
If you need to take a break, just
Yeah, no, I'm good. And then, so he was coming at my door. So I tried to quickly throw it in reverse and get out of his way again. And I got enough out of back, reversed back enough out of his way that he struck the front. I wasn't sure where he struck the front, but he struck the front of my vehicle and we slid kind of sideways. And so I jumped out of the vehicle because he'd already rammed me, and I was like, I'm not going to sit in my vehicle and get rammed again. And again, I thought I was still by myself. I didn't know anybody else was around because I was focused on him. At that time, I jumped out of my vehicle and I had my gun drawn, and I was saying, "Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands." And I could see there was 2 other people inside the vehicle. But I was focused on him. At that time, he was revving his engine as high as it could go, and the vehicles were jitter-juttering like he was stuck on my vehicle. And he had direct eye contact with me and was giving me the worst stare I've ever seen in my life. And at that time, he was revving the engine, staring straight at me, and I was only a few feet away through the passenger side door. At that time, he started reaching down. I don't know what he was reaching for, but he was staring right at me and reaching down. It looked like on the floorboard for something. I couldn't see what he was reaching for, and I still had my gun drawn. And then, and this is all happening in a split second. And then it was all of a sudden, the vehicle broke free. I didn't know if it was going forwards or backwards, but when it broke free, his body started coming up like this as he was still staring at me with his arm coming up like this. All I was thinking was he has a gun and he's going to shoot me. He'd already ran my vehicle and now he's going to shoot me. So at that time, I fired a shot or two, I thought, and the vehicle broke free and started going in reverse. I walked around, from what I remember, I started walking towards the front of my vehicle so I could see him better and see if he had a gun. I couldn't see, so I believe I shot a couple more times. And his truck ran full straight back into the fence where it stopped. At that time, I saw several other deputies come up on my left side. That was the first time I knew I wasn't by myself. And we went up to the truck, and cleared the truck. Somebody was screaming. It was a female voice screaming in the truck. Couldn't really make out what she was screaming. And I just had my gun on him, and he wasn't moving. So I called for 4355 to come to the scene with the suspect with gunshot wounds, and I held on him until somebody pulled me back and said, "It's."
Okay. After they pulled you back, where'd you go, or talk to anybody, do anything?
I think somebody that was right there. I was like that. I said something to the fact of that dude ran my shit or ran my truck, you know, and then I was like, and then Sarge was there, and we were like, we can't talk, and everybody split up, and I sat in Sarge's car.
Okay, so you sat in Sergeant Robles' car?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody with you? Buddy officer that night, or?
I had Greg Grundhofer report because he was in my academy class and he's been through a shooting, so I knew he knew what I would be going through.
Okay.
So he responded to the scene, and then I went from Santi's car to...
He wasn't on your squad, though?
No, he was
okay.
not.
Okay. Need a break?
No, I'm good. I'm good now. Just some of that shit coming back.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is
Yeah.
Listen to questions.
I'm going to kind of go back and just kind of fill in some gaps, questions that I have, okay?
Yeah.
If you need a break, just let me know.
No, I'm good.
All right, you sure?
Yeah.
You take a break.
No, I'm good for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in the area of Bridge and Paulette. You noticed the white pickup truck had no license plate, and that's why you wanted to pull him over, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did he even try to slow down for you, or?
He did. I believe I called out the traffic stop at Bridge and Paulette, and because I figured that's where we'd stop.
Mm-hmm.
He slowed down, turned on left onto Foothill, and I thought, okay, well, this is where he wants to stop. So, and then he never stopped.
Okay. After that incident, you said you turned off your equipment?
Yes.
Meaning your lights and siren, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you were following from a distance?
Yep.
How far, would you?
Within eyes view.
Within eyes view?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't give you an exact.
That's fine. Okay. You followed him north on Foothill, through Atrisco, right on, or east on Sunset Gardens, and I assume you went south on Sunset from Sunset Gardens, because you kind of left that one out, but I assume that's the route you took?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
South on Sunset, through Bridge, where you ran the red light, and then,
Where the defendant ran the red light.
right.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Or the white pickup ran the, and then west on Audino, north on Tapia, right on San Ignacio,
Yep.
and then you made that dog leg,
Yep.
and then back on Tapia.
Yep.
And the street that you turned down, I don't remember the name of it, Trocadero, sound familiar?
It does.
Okay.
I did not know what it was that night.
Okay. Okay, so when you turned the corner on Trocadero off of Tapia, where was the white pickup truck when you first saw him? Was he stationary or was he still?
No, he was turning around and doing a
He was
U-turn.
turning around?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was moving when you?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you parked in a way to where it left him an avenue of escape?
He had the whole road.
Okay. Was his avenue of escape to the north or to the south of you?
I was diagonal, so the street's here.
Mm-hmm.
I came down the street, he was doing a U-turn coming back. I went diagonal like that towards the fence,
Okay.
so he had the whole street.
Okay, behind you?
Yes.
So that'd be the south
He
side
had
of the street?
the whole street,
Okay.
north,
Were
south,
there
east,
any
west.
cars parked on that side of the street?
Not
you
that I
remember?
noticed or observed.
And when he saw you, did he ever stop? Or
No.
did he-
No, from what it looked like to me, he accelerated and started coming right at me.
Okay. And what you said is that you were parked here,
Mm-hmm.
stopped, you were still in your vehicle?
Yep,
Okay. And he came right for your driver door
yep,
with you in the driver's seat?
yes, sir.
And that's when you said you put it in reverse?
Tried to reverse and get out of his way.
Okay. And he hit the front of your unit?
Yes, he did.
Did he hit your unit or the grill guard? Or what part of your unit did he?
Are you asking me what I know now or what I knew that night?
And
Okay, I don't know.
Okay. But he made contact with your unit?
Yes,
And
he struck
and-
my unit and we went sideways.
Okay. And you said that you could hear revving and he was still pushing
Yes,
on your vehicle?
yes.
Okay. At what point did you get out of your vehicle?
Immediately after our vehicle slid and stopped, I jumped out of my vehicle.
Okay. So when you got out of your vehicle, did you say anything?
Yes,
Okay. Would you remember what you said?
I said, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
Okay. And at that point, was he still touching your vehicle with his vehicle?
Yeah, he was still locked with my vehicle
And was his engine still revving, tires
as high as it could.
Okay. When you said those commands, did he acknowledge that when he looked at you, or?
He was looking at me as soon as I jumped out of the vehicle.
Okay. All right. And while you were saying those commands and while he was looking at you, did you have your gun drawn?
Yes, I did.
Okay. At that point, you said he reversed off of your vehicle.
No,
He did not? Okay.
I didn't
Take me
say
through
that.
again.
I said,
okay.
okay, what I said was, when I jumped out of the car, the vehicles were still locked.
Okay.
The vehicles were still jutting and jolting. I wasn't sure if he was trying to go forward or backward. I said I had my gun drawn. I said, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. At that time, that's when he was staring at me with that crazy stare and was reaching down, doing something on the floorboard, staring right at me.
Okay.
At that time, the vehicle broke free. I still wasn't sure if it was going forward or backward, but when it broke free, his body started coming up while he was still staring at me, and his arm was coming up like this. I did not see what he was holding. At that time, with everything that had just happened, I thought he had a gun and was going to shoot me because he had already rammed me.
Okay. When the vehicle broke free, did it break free going forward, or did it break free coming
Couldn't
back?
tell you.
Okay. Okay. And then after it broke free and you saw him coming up with his hand, you didn't know what was in his hand.
I did not.
At what point did you fire your first rounds? Or your first round?
When the truck broke free and I saw his body coming up while he was still staring right at me.
Okay. And at that point, after you fired your rounds, which direction did the truck, or did it even go anywhere?
It swerved backwards like this. I walked around kind of towards the front of my vehicle to make sure I was out of the way.
Okay. And from that point, after you walked in the front of your vehicle, and he was kind of backing up.
Well, he wasn't backing up. He was in full going reverse.
Okay, he was in reverse, going fast, is what you mean?
Yeah, because the
Okay.
engine was in total rev.
Okay. Did you say that you fired at least one more shot from that point?
I don't know when exactly where I shot, when I shot. I just know I shot.
Okay. But you did shoot at that point sometime? Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay. Did the vehicle ever, did the white pickup truck ever strike your unit a second time, or was it just the one time?
No, it was just that one time.
Okay.
Unless you call Jutman Jolton while he was stuck on my vehicle.
No, I mean if it came back and blatantly.
No, he didn't have a
Okay.
chance because he was stuck.
Okay. Did you notice anybody, when was the first time you noticed anybody else around you besides the white pickup truck?
Okay. Didn't I already go over this? Okay.
He's following up.
Okay. The first time I noticed somebody was when the truck went and slammed into the fence, and I started to walk up towards the truck. I noticed a couple other deputies on my side. That is the first time I noticed anybody was there
Do
with
you
me.
remember who they were?
I couldn't tell you at that time.
Did you hear any other shots besides yours during any of the?
I didn't even hear my shots.
Okay. All right. I'm going to draw a sketch unless you want to ask me anything before that.
No, I don't have any questions, and did you need him? You're gonna have him draw a sketch?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, I can draw a sketch.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to
Do
draw.
you want it on a big, oh, you got a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you could just draw a map of the area from what you remember.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I borrow your pen?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, which part or what sketch do you want me to draw?
You can start with the intersection of, well, get mostly Trocadero, and you can show where Tapia is in
Okay.
relation to it, and then draw where the vehicles ended up.
Ended up?
Yeah.
In other words, at the first impact?
Not where he ended up in the fence, but where he ended up on my truck?
No, where all the vehicles ended up at the end of the scene, from what you remember.
I just remember mine and his vehicle.
Okay, then just draw whatever you remember. Just draw.
Okay. Okay, so this is going to be...
I think it was the term Jutton and Jolton.
I'm old. So this is tough.
He's old. What are we?
Compared to... Yeah. And this is Trocadero. I don't know how to spell
C
that. Okay.
ADER. That's fine.
Okay. This is the street. There's like rocks on the side, houses. Okay, so I came in.
Let's do this. Let's start with when you first turned your corner on Tapia. Let's draw where you stopped and where you saw the vehicle, the white pickup truck. Let's do that,
Okay.
and then we'll go forward from there.
Well, first I stopped right here.
Okay. And where did
And
you?
he was doing a U-E and coming back this way.
Okay. So let's put what's your VIN number?
239.
239. Let's label that 239, and let's put a 1 under the 3. That's going to be the first place that you
Okay.
stopped.
Okay.
And then let's draw where the white pickup truck, if it was moving, just remember
Yep.
where you remember that it was.
It was driving this way.
Let's just put,
Suspect S?
Yes.
you put S1.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay, and then move it. from
When I
there.
saw him coming back this way, I was like, I need to get out of the way so he can have an avenue of escape. So I drove all the way over here, totally off the road onto the dirt rocks, and I was positioned like this.
Let's put 2392.
At that time, he started coming like this.
Okay.
When I saw him, and I'm still in my vehicle, when I saw him coming straight at me, I was like, oh shit. And I tried to throw it in reverse. Well, I didn't try. I threw it in reverse so I could try to get out of, I thought I could get out of the back reverse out of his way and he would have maybe hit the fence. But he was accelerating and came right here. Oh, this is going to be jacked up now.
That's fine.
It's
Just
all right.
draw it. Yeah,
Okay.
if you reverse, just draw it an arrow
Okay,
backwards.
I got maybe a couple feet
That's right.
backwards like that, and he struck my front somewhere around in there.
Okay. Let's draw one more square there at the end of your arrow for you, and we'll call that 3. And then I'm drawing his over there.
Okay.
Call it suspect 3. Arrest 3.
Can I ask a question right here since
Yes,
we're right
sir.
there?
Yeah.
Mike, if you were to continue to stay right there, would he have rammed
He
you
would have
right at
rammed-
your door, right?
It was my belief that he would
Yeah,
have rammed straight.
that's what he was going for.
Yes,
Okay.
that was my belief. That's what it looked like to me from the headlights coming right
Okay.
at me.
Okay. And on this side of the road, you said there was more than enough room for him to,
He had the whole road.
okay,
Like I said, this is the road right here.
right.
I'm totally off the road.
Okay.
My vehicle, my whole vehicle was off the road.
And there were no obstructions, no cars, no trees?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
Well, there wasn't in the road. He had the whole
Yeah,
road.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the road.
Yeah.
Something that would have stopped him from driving this way?
No.
Not that you remember?
Not that I was aware of.
Okay.
No.
And when you're here at number 3, is that
Uh-huh.
when you got out of your vehicle? At that point? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we put like an X1, and that's going to be where you first positioned yourself.
Okay. See, now that looks like I backed up and he missed and, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's all right.
Okay,
They
okay.
got it. They
Okay,
got
so
it.
I jumped out of the vehicle. He struck me, I jumped out of the vehicle. I'm right here.
Okay.
And I'm looking right into, I'm like feet away. from-
Okay. Just put a 1 after that X so that we know that that's where you first went. And is this the area that you were standing when you first fired?
I believe so.
Okay. From S3, once he broke loose,
Mhm.
can you try to position him on this map where he went
Okay.
to?
I didn't fire while he was still stuck on my
Okay.
vehicle. I fired when it broke loose and he started coming up.
Gotcha. Okay. And so he was back. He was
No.
farther back.
No.
Don,
Yeah.
you get frustrated.
I am.
There's no
I am.
reason to. Just,
Okay.
Okay, was he still in this area? But he was
He
just
was
broken
still
loose?
on my truck
Okay.
and the vehicle broke. Like I said, all at once, the engine's revving, the vehicles are jolting and jolting.
jumping and jolting. Got that.
Moving back and, you know.
Right.
All at once, I haven't fired yet. I'm standing right there saying, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. He's reaching down for something, staring right at me. All of a sudden, the vehicle breaks free. It starts to move.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if it was moving forward or backward.
Okay.
At that time, when the vehicle broke free, his body started coming up with his hand in a, you know,
Right.
whatever he was doing down there, he was coming up with whatever
Okay.
I thought he had.
Okay.
That's when I first fired.
Okay. So let's do this. Afterward, you said he went in reverse through this
Yes.
sewer fence. Could you draw that?
Yeah, when it broke
Lane of
free,
travel.
it came back this way and went through a brick fence right here and ended up, yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
the
that's the fence,
okay.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and it ended up like halfway in between. Yeah.
And that's where it stayed?
And that's
You
where,
know.
that's where it came to rest.
Okay, so during this travel, at
Uh-huh.
some point, you...
I did.
You changed your position?
When it broke free after I fired the first time, I don't know how many times I fired, it was coming back. It did more of a,
Mhm.
so I moved quickly this way to get out of the way from what I thought was getting out of the way.
You can put an X2 here and just put an arrow where you
Okay.
think you were standing. You know, it's getting kind of crowded over there.
There's two, there's one, and there's that camera right here, where the truck, where they moved right
Okay.
there.
Okay. And at some point during this later travel, you think you fired, you might have
I
fired?
believe I fired a couple more times while I was moving.
Okay.
Nope. I just wanted to clarify here, when you say he broke free, he
Yes.
didn't completely go there. He was there for a moment. That's when you fired those rounds, right? He didn't continue, when he broke free, he didn't go total in reverse and hit this house.
Not
Is
that I'm
correct?
aware of. It
He
broke
pretty
free.
much stayed right there.
Well, it
And
happened.
you didn't know if he was gonna come back.
I
at you
didn't know
or
if he
not.
was coming back, I didn't
Okay.
know if he was reversing, I had no
You
idea.
couldn't tell which way he was gonna go?
Couldn't tell which
Okay.
way.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
He didn't break free and just back into this.
No,
house.
not the way I
He was
remember.
there, and that's where he hesitated.
He broke free, Chuck broke free, he was coming up, I fired. however
Again, you
many
didn't know
times.
what he was doing,
I
going
had no
forward,
idea what he was
backwards.
doing,
Okay.
and I had no
Just
idea
wanted
if
to
he was,
clarify that.
if he was coming up with a gun. I
When
had
he-
no
when
idea.
he
That
was
was what
thinking-
your belief.
That's what my belief was,
Mhm.
because he had already tried to ram me. Or he did ram me, but, yeah.
When you say he was revving his engine and all that when he was making contact with your vehicle, do you think he moved your vehicle?
Oh, he moved my vehicle.
Okay.
I did see that. My tires, the rocks were built up against the tires because it had skidded.
Okay, okay. So let's see, is this north?
Yeah, north,
Let's put that.
west, east, south.
All right. Fred, you want to tell me how he has to sign
And
it?
then you were asking, the first time I noticed people coming, or
Yes.
whatever, was when the vehicle had crashed in there and I started walking towards the vehicle. That's when I noticed people right here.
Okay. Oh, right next to you on this side?
Yes,
Okay.
that was the first time I noticed anybody
Do me
there.
a favor.
Yeah.
Sign across that line, your signature breaking the line and date it.
Okay.
And it is about 8:30. Today's date is the 20th, if you can believe that, man. The time's 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Mike, what kind of vehicle were you in that day?
I was in a Ford,
Explorer.
Explorer.
Did it have any markings on it, or?
It was fully marked, fully labeled.
And what were you wearing?
My uniform of the day, badge of office.
Okay. From the time that you were separated by Sergeant Roy Ball
Uh-huh.
to the time, were you processed by CSI on scene?
About 6 hours later.
Okay, 6 hours.
It was absolutely horrible.
Okay, did you change, did you do anything to your equipment?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
And you had your belt tape running?
The entire time.
Okay. All right.
From before I even initiated the traffic stop till the end.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
No, sir.
Okay, let me go stop recording.
Okay.